actually feels like it got cooler today, even though for a lot of the reports and stuff you read, they make it sound like it's doom and gloom, like everything's going to melt for some reason. And what's going on today? I guess this was interesting, as apparently the US Air Force posted a video of sort which they say are Russians flying recklessly around one of their drones. This one says here regarding Russia's unprofessional behavior while reacting with US aircraft over Syria. Apparently it was a Reaper drone, and this isn't the first, I guess, story of this type where the US was saying in recent times that other countries have been dangerously going close to their vehicles, I guess you could say. It says earlier today at approximately 10:40 a.m., Russian military aircraft engaged in unsafe and unprofessional behavior while interacting with US aircraft in Syria. While 3 US MQ-9 drones were conducting a mission against ISIS targets, 3 Russian fighter jets began harassing the drones. Against established norms and protocols, the Russian jets dropped multiple parachute flares in front of the drones, forcing our aircraft to conduct evasive maneuvers. Additionally, one Russian pilot positioned their aircraft in front of an MQ-9 and engaged afterburner, thereby reducing the operator's ability to safely operate the aircraft. These events represent another example of unprofessional and unsafe actions by Russian air forces operating in Syria, which threaten the safety of both US and Russian forces. We urge Russian forces in Syria to cease this reckless behavior and adhere to the standards of behavior expected of a professional air force so we can resume our focus on the enduring defeat of ISIS. So what could be going on, huh? Is it just a matter of people trying to play, I guess, quote, chicken with each other? At the same time, one could argue, hey, I'm getting close to you, but I actually didn't do anything per se, so if you attack us first, then it'll be all-out war, or something like that anyways. Who knows what's going on, huh? And then how about this one? You know, here in Canada, all the major crashes that were documented with real tangible proof with drones and aircraft came from the police. But this one here, apparently in other areas, they say the police potentially lied about a crash of sort. This one says, former Leicestershire police officer accused of lying over drone crash. A former Leicestershire police officer is accused of lying to his bosses after a forced drone crash. The police constable was flying a device when it was damaged on 14th of October. The officer, who has since left the force, allegedly did not follow the correct procedure for reporting the damage, Leicestershire police said. A hearing will take place on Tuesday to determine if he is guilty of gross misconduct. He is also accused of being dishonest in the details he gave to colleagues, as well as breaching standards of professional behavior and of discreditable conduct. Would that be considered a crime of sort if police falsified these types of reports where they crashed a drone, with how a lot of places, again, they treat drone as a aircraft per se? So wouldn't that be the same thing as crashing, like a full-size airplane of sort? Let's see what happens with this one, but I guess it kind of shows, again, you can make all the rules, make people pay thousands of dollars for training and all that, you'll always have bad apples. So anyone who says you need that because it's a way to prevent things from happening like 100% and all that is ludicrous in my opinion. And then I read this today, which was kind of a crazy story. You know, when you use things like social media sites, there's often reactions you can give to things such as posts. For example, giving it a thumbs up, a smiley face, or something like that. And in this case, it seems like there was a court case where they deemed as if you give, let's just say, a thumbs up to some kind of message or post, it's you acknowledging that you agree to, let's just say, a contract. That's kind of crazy. This one says, texting thumbs up emoji in response to a question cost Saskatchewan farmer $82,000 in contract case. A Saskatchewan judge says an emoji can amount to a contractual agreement and ordered a farmer to pay more than $82,000 for not delivering product to a grain buyer after responding to a text message with a thumbs up image. The Court of King's Bench decision said a grain buyer with Southwest Terminal sent a text to farmers in March 2021 saying that the company was looking to buy 86 tons of flax for $17 per bushel to be delivered in the fall. The buyer, Kent Mickleborough, later spoke with Swift Current farmer Chris Acker on the phone and texted a picture of a contract to deliver the flax in November, adding, "Please confirm flax contract." Archer texted back a thumbs up emoji, but when November came around, the flax was not delivered and prices for the crop had increased. So imagine this as two regular people, for example, someone saying, I want to buy, I don't know, a camera or something like that, does anyone have one for sale? And then someone like yourself, you just post a picture of, I have this one here, and then someone gives a thumbs up. So this case is basically saying the fact that the guy gave a thumbs up, that means I'll buy it without actually saying it. It says, Mickleborough said the emoji amounted to an agreement because he had texted numerous contracts to Arthur, who previously confirmed through text messages and always fulfilled the order. But the farmer argued that the emoji indicated only that he'd received the contract in the text message. I deny that he accepted the thumbs up emoji as a digital signature of the incomplete contract, Archer said in the affidavit to the court. I did not have time to review the Flex contract and merely wanted to indicate that I did receive his text message. Justice Timothy Keene said in his June decision that the thumbs up emoji did meet signature requirements and therefore the farmer breached his contract. The judge pointed to a dictionary.com definition of the thumbs up emoji, which said it is used to express assent, approval, or encouragement in digital communications. Saying here, this court cannot nor should it attempt to stem the tide of technology and common usage. Wow, that's really controversial actually. It's kind of, I guess, really one-dimensional with the way you're looking at it, because it can mean such a broad range of things when you thumbs up something. For example, if you see a documentary, let's just say the story is really gruesome and violent, but then people give a thumbs up, it doesn't necessarily per se, you agree, let's just say, with the subject matter in itself. It could be, I'm giving support to whoever created that documentary, as an example. Or same thing, many times even companies do this. They post their sale, for example. It could be a product, you don't need it, but then people who like the business, they give a thumbs up to say, we want to give it, I don't know, more exposure or something like that. Doesn't mean they're actually going to buy anything as well, so that's kind of crazy. Even this lawyer's response kind of made me think, because it says here, Jason Lee, a Toronto-based lawyer who specializes in complex dispute resolutions, says from a legal perspective, he thinks the judge's decision was right. That's because the court relies on the most common use of a word, or in this case, emoji, said Lee, who has worked on many cases involving digital communications. He referred to Emojipedia, which states a thumbs up indicates approval. If you were to say to me, let's go out for dinner tonight and I'll meet you at this restaurant at this time, and I send you a thumbs up emoji, what does that mean, Lee said? It means I'm going to meet you at the restaurant at that time. I was just reading this example and thinking about it. I think it's fundamentally flawed in terms of the analogy, because in order to use analogies, they have to be one-to-one as much as possible. And why this isn't really one-to-one, according to this with the post initially, I guess, it's more of, here's what I offer and all that. It's not making a specific request saying, do you want to buy this? Whereas in this example where he's talking about like the restaurant, he's specifically saying, let's go out for dinner, I'll meet you at this restaurant. That would be like in the other example saying, here is the contract, do you want to buy this? Should I charge you right now and ship it? If he gives a thumbs up there, I could argue, yeah, he agreed with it. If I was to think, for example, an analogy with a restaurant, like what this lawyer is doing, I think a more accurate way of describing it, which makes it trickier, is because it'll be like your friend sending you a picture of a restaurant with a price, and then all of a sudden saying, this place is great, we should go there. If you give a thumbs up in that case, it doesn't mean, okay, I'm gonna go with you today or something like that. It could mean just, wow, great find, we'll think about it. You're gonna have to actually confirm in that case. Just giving the thumbs up afterwards and then say, hey, I thought you were coming because you gave a thumbs up. I've never heard of that before. Unless, again, the person specifically asked a question or a comment saying, for example, I'm gonna go there for dinner tonight. I'll see you there, okay? And then you give a thumbs up. Then I can see they can say, hey, what is going on? I thought you were gonna meet me there. But not in these types of situations. It's kind of dangerous too, in my opinion, if you have that way of thinking, because you could say in the future, let's just say someone made a post and they used a quote angry emoji or something like that. Is someone now going to say, okay, that angry emoji equals to the fact that the person is going to kill me? They threaten my life. Because look at the dictionary here and there, for example, this is what that emoji means. Like, to me, that's the dangerous type of result you could get with these types of approach in trying to interpret quote emojis in these ways. Imagine if restaurants did that to people, where someone could just randomly post one day on a social media site saying, Oh, I'm looking to go dine out today. Does anyone know a good place I can go? All these restaurants then bombard this person with their menus and so forth saying, come on by at our place. So this person thumbs up every single post by every restaurant. It's more as a way to say, oh, thank you for sharing. But then some restaurant says, oh, I'm gonna sue you now because I started prepping everything assuming you were coming because you gave us a thumbs up. That's a contractual agreement. Like, wouldn't that be crazy? That's kind of how this feels like anyways in many ways. Alright, see you guys later.